What's up, Internet? This is part 2 of the review of the MSI GT72 6QE Dominator Pro. I'm just going to go down this page and kind of give you my opinion of each of the different features that this laptop has, and are they gimmicky or are they actually helpful? First thing we go to is performance. We first have the newest Intel i7 processor. Yes, this is great because it's better on power, as well as it is the latest technology, so you're going to get better benchmarks. If you want the actual benchmarks, just go ahead and Google those. I'm sure you can find them on CPU Boss and other websites that do the benchmarking. On top of all that, this computer comes with its own built-in overclocking. You just go, this comes with the computer loaded on, and you can change from green, comfort, or sport mode on the fly, as well as use your laptop keyboard as well. Upgradable MXM design. This was not a big selling point to me, but that's really cool because a lot of times, especially with gaming laptops, the one component that everybody wants to always upgrade is their graphics card, and that's why a lot of people pick a desktop, is because it's easy to pull in and out the slot and just upgrade the graphics cards. So that's cool that they're going in this direction. I think it's a smart move. Is it a big selling point to me? No. I'm probably never going to switch out the graphics card, but if you are, hey, that's a little added bonus. This was a big selling point to me, was the PCI Express. I mean, look how much faster it is compared to SATA. To me, I do a lot of rendering and I do a lot of dumping when I have like an SD card, a 64 gigabyte SD card filled with footage, and I just need to dump it onto my hard drive, or I need to transfer it to an external drive. And it's super fast using this computer, and the PCI Express was a big selling point for me. As well as, while we're on this topic, let's go to this computer. As you can see, when you open it up, there is an extra slot here. So I have my 256 here, I have an extra slot here, I have an extra bay, and then I have my 1 terabyte 7200 RPM, not 5400, but 7200, a little faster, storage hard drive as well. So back on here, you not only have the speed, you also have the upgradability to add a larger hard drive. Thunderbolt 3, I don't use it myself, but I know it's a really up-and-coming support. That it's also beating USB 3.0 in speed tests, and there's some higher capabilities there. So it's good to have it. I don't use it yet, but it's nice to have the option if I was to need it. I don't have a 4K display. I just have a typical 1080p display, an Asus that I hooked this up to through HDMI. It looks perfect. It works perfect. But hey, if I ever wanted to, I could do a 4K display. DDR4 was a big selling point for me. You're going to see most gaming laptops, especially older ones, are going to have the DDR3. Having the newer capability and the faster bus speeds is, to me, a big selling point. Not only that, this came with 24 gigabytes of RAM, and you can upgrade it to even more if you wanted to. I'm totally fine with 24. Cooler Master 3, if you do, it does have these big heat sinks on the back. You can turn them on and off manually. Right now, my computer is dead silent. You cannot hear it, and it's, I'm recording this and I'm doing some other things in the background. I don't need them. But if I was going to do some overclocking and do some really intensive graphics and gaming, you can turn them on manually with a little button on the keyboard, and they fire right up. They're not super loud, but they're definitely working. And as you can see, the noise is lower than the competition, and they do really good cooling. If you look at a lot of other review sites, that seems to be why a lot of people like MSI, is they have one of the better cooling systems now that actually work. I know other gaming laptops sometimes, that's one of the biggest issues, is the overheating, because a laptop is much more compressed than a desktop computer, and that's where the issues come in, is on the heat, especially with high performance. Now, I'm sorry guys, I don't do a lot of gaming, but this does have the GTX 980M, which is one of the top of the line graphics cards out there. It has the G-Sync technology, it has the display out ports, so whatever you're going to throw at this laptop, it could probably do it, and it could do it really well. The IPS display is also really cool, true color technology. I could open up this app here, and it'll allow me to change the settings on my display really easily on the IPS display. So you got a lot of adjustability in not only an external monitor, but on the internal IPS display as well. Don't use this. I mean, high class design with esports enthusiasm. I mean, that's cool. The red color is nice. The thing I don't like is the top of this is kind of this glossy material, I'm sure somebody knows the correct term, but it does leave fingerprints like hardcore. So if you're traveling with this a lot, you're pulling it in and out of a laptop bag, it will get dirty quickly. The outside of it will. Embrace virtual reality. Haven't used it yet, but if you buy this laptop, I imagine you can probably run an Oculus Rift with it. So that's good to have. Audio. Two things about the audio. Number one is the onboard speakers are great. They have 2.1, so you have this little subwoofer speaker here, and then you have on the front, you have your other speakers here. It's 2.1, and it has both good low and high end speakers. If I compare this to like a Bluetooth portable speaker, I would actually rather use my onboard speakers than a Bluetooth speaker. The speakers are that good. Number two is you have the Sound Blaster 2 graphics sound card, not graphics card, Sound Blaster 2. So you get, I can run my Logitech 5.1s through this port here. It also has the headphone input, as well as some other inputs for streaming and inputting sounds and things like that. So you have a lot of capabilities on the audio front as well. So you're not going to get just the visuals, you're also going to get the audios. Next is the controls. This isn't a mechanical keyboard. If you're doing like hardcore gaming and you need a mechanical keyboard, you're probably going to want to buy one separate. However, the keys on here are great. I write a lot of emails, so I do a lot of typing, and then I do light gaming with it, and the keyboard is great. One of the biggest things you'll notice is it lights up. It has this whole customizable profiles, and you can change the colors. You can not only change the colors on the keyboard, but you can also change the colors of the mouse pad on the outside here. You can change the color of the SteelSeries logo, and on top of all that, in the front of the computer, you have these two LED lights, and so all of that is programmable through the SteelSeries app that comes with the computer. So when I show off my computer, I usually do show this off, even though I really don't care about it, but it's kind of cool because no other laptops do this. So it's nice. It's a nice little added bonus, but it was not the main reason why I bought the computer. It does work, and it is fully customizable. I usually am plugged into a LAN, but having a killer wireless network card is faster. My wife has a MacBook Air, and if we're using the same Wi-Fi and we're on the couch, we're right next to each other, I'll get way better signal, way better speeds on speed test. So if you are going Wi-Fi, it is a great card to have. I don't use the XSplit Game Cacher, but that is an extra feature if you want to do Twitch or do some sort of streaming. It is set up for that. And lastly, HDMI. Yes, it has an HDMI port on the back. That's all the specs on this computer. Let's just go down the list here. We talked about that. The display on it, on the IPS display, is awesome. PCI Express was a big deal. Thunderbolt. The overclocking, to have it already built in, it makes it so if you're not super high-end computer nerd and you don't want to install all these third-party apps and things like that, it comes preloaded with it, and I don't think it really... A lot of people say, oh, well, that's bloatware, you don't need that stuff, it slows down your computer. I mean, this computer's so freaking fast. I mean, I don't... Even if it's slowing it down, I don't know how it's slowing it down.